The alien spacecraft, an intricate lattice of crystalline and metallic components, shimmer as it descended into Earth's atmosphere. To the human eye, it resembled a fragmented jewel falling from the heavens. Inside, Commander Zorvac of the Zral Empire prepared his landing team. This was no ordinary mission. They had come to assess the species that had dared send signals into the cosmos, claiming dominance over their blue-green world, humanity. Their first contact reports had been confusing. The humans were not the most advanced species the Zral had encountered, nor were they the strongest physically, and yet their history spoke of resilience and ingenuity that bordered on the inexplicable. Empires had risen and fallen, and through it all, humanity survived, adapting, thriving. But it was the peculiar human concept of gods that intrigued Zorvac the most. For the Zral, gods were myths, abandoned in the light of scientific advancement. But humans? They clung to their stories of omnipotent beings, and one name stood out in the intercepted signals: Kratos, a god of war. Are they delusional, or is there truth to their legends? Zorvac murmured, his voice reverberating through the bridge of the ship. His lieutenant, a lanky alien named Vriltek, adjusted his bioluminescent ocular apparatus. Commander, our mission is clear. We must investigate if this Kratos poses a threat to the Empire. Perhaps he is merely a construct of their imagination. Zorvac nodded, his leathery, violet-hued skin glinting under the ship's lights. Prepare the extraction. We will interrogate one of their leaders. The Zral ship landed in a remote part of the Aegean Sea. Their sensors had detected an isolated individual near the ancient ruins of Olympia. The readings were strange. This human's energy signature was unlike any they had ever encountered. When the landing ramp descended, Zorvac's elite warriors stepped onto the rocky shoreline. Before them stood a lone figure, a man clad in simple attire, his muscled frame radiating an aura of quiet power. His eyes burned like twin suns, and his hands rested on the hilt of an axe embedded in the ground beside him. Zorvac's translator module clicked into action. Human, we come in peace. Identify yourself. The man tilted his head, a faint smirk playing on his lips. You tread on sacred ground, alien. Do you not know who I am? Vriltek stepped forward. Will you not succumb to primitive theatrics? We have come to understand your kind, and the myths you hold dear. Are you the one they call Kratos? The man's expression darkened. He pulled the axe from the ground with an effortless motion. I was once known by that name. Now, I am but a guardian. But if you seek a god, you have found one. The first blow came faster than Zorvac anticipated. The human's axe, glowing with an ethereal blue light, cleaved through the air with precision. One of the Zral warriors raised a shield, but the weapon shattered it, sending the alien sprawling backward. Hold your fire, Zorvac commanded, raising a clawed hand. This was not the time for a hasty reaction. There was something unnatural about this human. You claim to be a god. Prove it. Kratos' eyes narrowed. He gestured toward the ruins behind him. The ground trembled and ancient stones began to rise, forming a towering colossus that roared to life. The Zral warriors stumbled, their confidence wavering as the massive construct advanced. I have faced titans and toppled Olympus itself, Kratos said, his voice a low growl. You are but insects in comparison. Zorvac's mind raced. This was not technology. No device, no weapon could account for what he was witnessing. This human's power defied explanation. Deploy the suppression field. Vriltek shouted. Zral activated their advanced containment technology, enveloping Kratos in a shimmering dome of anti-energy. It was designed to nullify any force, organic or synthetic. For a moment, it seemed to work. Kratos paused, his movements restricted. But then, with a primal roar, he broke free, the dome shattering into fragments of light. The force of his escapes sent shockwaves rippling across the landscape, knocking the Zral to the ground. Zorvac staggered to his feet, his confidence shattered. This was no ordinary human. He realized too late the folly of underestimating a species capable of producing such an entity. Retreat, he ordered. This being is beyond us. But Kratos was not finished. He raised his axe, and a beam of searing light erupted from its blade, carving a line in the ground between the Zral and their ship. "You come to my world uninvited," Kratos said. "You seek to judge humanity. Then hear this. We do not bow to gods. We slay them." The Zral froze, the weight of his words sinking in. In their arrogance, they had believed themselves superior, but this encounter had shown them the truth. Humanity was not to be trifled with. As the aliens scrambled back to their ship, Zorvak cast one last glance at the man who had single-handedly brought his team to their knees. Kratos stood unmoving, his presence a silent warning. The Zral ship ascended, its crystalline structure dimmed as it vanished into the stars. Commander Zorvak's report to the Empire would be a dire one. The humans were more than they appeared, and among them walked beings who could challenge even the mightiest forces in the galaxy. And somewhere, on the rocky shore of the Aegean, Kratos sheathed his axe and returned to his solitude, the echoes of another victory fading into the wind.